recommendations from each firm as the audit committee, which is you, the commission, is the audit committee. A decision on which firm will provide audit services for the city will be made at the next special meeting on Tuesday, July 28th at 1 p.m. During this time, you'll analyze each firm based on tonight's presentation, bid documentation, and staff recommendations. The order in which each firm presents is alphabetical. So Carr, Riggs, and Ingram will go first, then James Moore, and then Malvin and Jenkins. So I will let Carr, Riggs, and Ingram come.
And Finance Director, what contract did we have last year? How many? Was it 2 year?
It was a 5-year.
It was a 5? That was 5 years ago.
It went quick.
My goodness, wow, okay. And are we anticipating that we'll be looking for another 5-year?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. Do we have any other questions for our Finance Director before we get started? Hey, if not, we are ready.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Lindsay Avilas. I'm the audit partner from Cards and Ingram. So it looks like our PowerPoint's up there. I also handed out some printed versions, so you guys have some if you want to take any written notes. But I'm going to get started. I have my team with me here. I have Kayla Spellman and Vincent. We call him Vinny Catroni. And so go ahead and get started. So this is for, 5-year audit contract for the city, starting with this fiscal year ended coming up. So today we have myself, Lindsay Avilas, Kayla, and Vinny. And then there are a couple other people that would be on the team, so when we get to that slide, I'll kind of introduce them. They couldn't be here today. They are both out of the country. We actually, in our office, we schedule a lot of our vacations in July because the June 30th is a state deadline. We do a lot of government, so just for our own sanity, we try to schedule vacations in July. So July sometimes is a little bit sparse and people are out. So
We're glad to have you.
yeah, so I mean, if people want to take a vacation earlier, we'll let them, but so. All right, so some firm facts about CRI. We were founded in 1997, so been around for a little while. In many markets, we have been in the top 25 for size of firm for the United States for many years now. We have over 2,000 employees, about 400 partners. We have, in Florida alone, about 21 offices. We have more of a southeast presence, but we have in recent years expanded further out west to like New Mexico and stuff. But a lot of Florida presence for sure. And then we've had a lot of growth in the last couple of years. We do a lot of just natural growth organically, but then merging in offices. So we have been one of the fastest growing firms in recent years. So. Here we go. All right, so the audit team that we are proposing is myself as engagement partner. I do have my CPA license. I've been in the government field for over 15 years. Been doing a lot of governments in Florida that entire time pretty much. And so the quality control partner would be Christine Noran, who is in Italy right now. And she is actually the partner in charge of our office. She has many years of experience, works on a ton of governments, does some really large city audits, and also does quality reviews for our entire firm. So she does quality municipality audit reviews for New Mexico, Texas, like a bunch of other cities and districts across the United States. Nora would be the audit manager. She has many years of experience as well, working in a lot of governments. She has her CPA license. And then Kayla, who's with us here tonight, she would be the single audit manager if you all had a single audit, because single audits are extremely technical and very high risk with the grant compliance, and every grant is different. Kayla does many single audits every year. She's very experienced in those FEMA, ARPA, all kinds of different grants, not only in Florida, but in other states as well. And then Vinny, who has a CPA, he's supervising senior associate, so he'd be more of the day-to-day in charge of the audit field work. He has worked on many governments in our office for many years. And then some other senior associates and staff would be assisting him. In our office, we've very well pushed the CPA exam. A lot of our seniors and staff are in process, like they passed 1 or 2 of the 4 exams and they're working on their CPA license as part of our career advising. We're trying to make sure everyone is trying to take at least 1 test per quarter and get that under their belt. So it's a thing that we really push in our office. So. All right, so I'm going to hand this over to Kayla to kind of talk about the more technical expertise of our team. But feel free to ask questions as we're presenting if anything comes up.
Hey there, I'm Kayla Spellman. I'm a senior manager with CRI. And as Lindsay said, I am a single audit specialist. So when that becomes something that your city is working on, or if you have any general compliance issues, that's something where I can be a resource to you. Lindsay really talked about the partners who are going to be serving you as a client, and they're both very experienced, both in the public sector and with audit in general, and they're both CPAs, which is great. The rest of our team is, I'm going to advance that slide for me.
Let me see. There it goes.
You can be Vanna White. Okay. So the rest of our team, we have Noor, who is a manager. She is also a CPA, and she has a very deep experience with the public sector. I just talked about myself. And then we also have Vincent, who's a CPA. I know we've said the word CPA a lot, but that really is showing you that you have a really deep bench here. You have a lot of expertise going all the way from the partner level to the in charge. And even the people that would be working day to day with him. So lots of technical expertise. We all have a wealth of knowledge, and we have the technical knowledge to help support you as our client. In addition to having education, certifications, and experience, we also do ongoing education. We're required to do that as Florida CPAs. We're also required to do it as governmental auditors, and everyone who's on your team, regardless of their certifications, is going to complete 40 hours of CPE every year. They're going to get the required hours as a governmental auditor. Your CPAs are going to get ethics training, and we as a firm sponsor training throughout the year in governmental audit that we open up to our clients. So that's a way that we also offer something to help develop your finance department.
A lot of them are webinars, so they don't even have to physically come to the meetings, like to our webinar, especially when there's like a new GASB coming out and it's like very specific. And so we always try to make sure we offer that to clients.
Where's your headquarters?
So the headquarters is in Enterprise, Alabama, but
You're
I've
local.
actually been there. So been to Alabama a couple times, but for the most part, we operate out of our Melbourne office, like on day-to-day stuff. All of our clients are either down to St. Lucie County, up here to Volusia, like this, like along the coast of Florida.
Melbourne.
And then, I'm going to turn it over to Vinny to talk to you about some of the applications that we use.
All right, so I'm Vinny. The software we use to collect the information that we will receive from the finance department and the other teams at the city is Smartsheet. Smartsheet is a third-party service. It's a secure service where we can authorize certain individuals access, and we can manage that access. If you can see on the slide, we have a demonstration of an example of a Smartsheet. It's very user-friendly. It's kind of like a Google Sheet, kind of for the mechanics, so it's very user-friendly. Most people in this industry could easily manipulate it. The Smartsheet allows us to be very organized, where we set up each audit request by major audit areas. So we can have a cash section, we can have all our cash revenue and so forth for use for the management team. It allows us to have due dates, and we can also assign a task to an individual at the city, so we know exactly who's responsible and who we can talk to get that information. Smartsheet also allows us to message in the system, so we can communicate, we can have everything neatly in the system. We can communicate back and forth about certain items, and we can also tag, and they can have alerts directly in the system. The audit software we will use is CCH Pro System Engagement. That is our software that we will use internally to manage the audit and to do all our testing and save all the work. So CCH Pro System Engagement requires sign-offs. So every work paper will require a reviewer, and most will have second and even third reviewers. Our more high-risk areas, such as revenue, and some of the other areas, we'll have up to 3 reviews, and usually by a partner. We also maintain a firm methodology for our indexing, so we are very organized within our worksheet, so we do not miss any major areas. And then specifically for single audits, because single audits are very based. We have a gate system to ensure that when we have a review process, and so we do not get ahead of ourselves, and then we do not have to go back and redo any work. CCH Process and Engagement also has a built-in trial balance system for us to use to track audit adjustments and to manage journal entries if needed, that we can report back to management. It allows us to split it out by funds and also have government-wide trial balance. Another thing we want to focus on is the proximity, our proximity to the city. I know Lindsay was talking about our headquarters in Alabama, but we really, we're almost like we're in Melbourne, our whole office is Melbourne. We're only 72 miles away, and me as the day-to-day, in Northern Brevard, I'm only about 40 minutes away, so at any point we can come on site and communicate with the finance team. We're not afraid to come on site. We're very open to completing the audit in the field. We're set up for that, and we have no problem. Sometimes it's just easier to communicate in person than through emails. I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay.
All right, so on this slide, we kind of have some of our clients that we work on in our office that are kind of similar to Daytona Beach Shores. But we actually have about 24 municipalities, give or take. Yeah, and just that we handle in our office with our own staffing.
And Lindsay, how many of them are, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. How many of them are in Volusia County?
We have about 3 in Volusia County right now.
What other ones do you have besides Daytona Beach?
Daytona Beach, Oak Hill, and then we do some client like CAS work, not audit work, but like client consulting work for some others.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've been trying to get others in Volusia County. I've been bidding on some others.
Okay, great.
Because Volusia County, I actually grew up in Volusia County, so I have family over here and everything. So yeah, I expect that when I kind of came up with a fee, I expect your audit would be about 400 hours, give or take. If there's like a new GASB being implemented, it might take a little longer. Like this year coming up, there's a new GASB where there's going to be some changes to the report and some stuff is going to move around, like the budget to actual. And the MD&A is going to become a little bit more extensive. So stuff like that will take time because it takes time to review and things like that. But this is just kind of an example of some other clients that we do have. And then what the scope of work is. A lot of these have a CRA as part of the city. A lot of them have single audits every single year and a lot of complex issues. So we've definitely seen a lot of different things. All right, so for audit timing and our commitment to timely reporting, our approach is that I really want to front load the audit process. I think that spacing it out really helps the staff of the city to not get overloaded and overburdened. Like when they close out the books and then suddenly the full audit happens and you're in November, December, you're getting up to holidays, it's very difficult. So I really like to front load it. We try to start planning, if city will allow, as soon as August, September, like the year does not need to be closed out. We can come out here, do planning, do risk assessment, do walkthroughs, determine the internal controls of the city and what they have in place, and even do some like interim testing where we pull maybe like 75, 80% of our sample from the months that are done. And then if the city's like, oh, these last 3 months of the year aren't really closed out, so we won't pick samples from those 3 months, but we can come back later and then finish our samples when the year is closed out. It really helps the staff so that they're not overburdened by pulling support for us like all at once. And so that's what August, September would kind of be. October, we're looking at finishing up any early questions and wrapping up that interim testing. And then November, December, whenever the books actually are closed out and everything's ready and we have a full trial balance that's ready to go and audit, then we'll actually finish up our testing and our field work and we can be on site for that. And I would like to get most of it done before the holiday period so that the city can enjoy their time off and things, because we can't really finish your audit till the end of January when the FRS information comes out. That's like always the second, third week of January. And once that stuff comes out, then we can finish the actual reports because there's some pretty big adjustments that come from the Florida reporting system. But we can have the rest of the audit done before then. So that's my thoughts. January, February, of course, would be the actual final reporting, the ACFR assistance, getting your ACFR ready, getting that FRS, the HIS information in there, and then completing final reviews, meeting, doing exit conferences and things like that. If there's any control findings, any issues, management comments that we might have, we can discuss that with the city. And so overall, I think the benefits is that this is gonna reduce that year-end burden on your staff. It's gonna identify issues earlier on. There might be an issue and then they get a chance to fix it before the year is done. It allows the audit work to be performed during a slower operational time for the city, like whenever works for them. And then it can help us get the ACFR complete earlier, so it's not all the way up against that March 31st deadline. And so I did look back at your recent audit report dates. I noticed it's starting to teeter towards like that March 31st deadline. It's been getting later and later. And so I really think if we kind of space things out, there's no reason why this needs to go up to March 31st. I think it could be into February if possible. Unless there's other issues going on at the city that we don't know about, or if something major, but like a hurricane or something. But I think that February is totally different.
Okay.
Audit fee, it looks like you've been doing an ACT for the last several years, so I expect that middle row is what the fee would be. That is a cap. Any travel, anything like that would not be charged to the city. This is the cap. If there's a single audit that's required, like such as FEMA or something, that's what the fee would be. Looks like you even had one recently, but I kind of built in a 2 to 3% inflation here, which if you look back at the average the last 5 years, it's been more like 4%, so this would kind of lock you in at like 2 to 3% inflation for the next 5 years.
And let me, Director, so is that where you feel we would be in that middle, that 62,000 with certification?
Wouldn't be above that.
Okay, all right. I mean, but is that what it says without certification? Are we looking at something for our city that you would prefer the one that has the certification?
That's the full ACFR that gets submitted.
Sorry.
So, no, I just want to make sure you, could everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we are in that, the certificate of achievement, that is the award
Achievement,
that we
okay.
get every year.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why we are in that middle row.
And we've received that
Yes,
award.
we have.
How many years have we received that?
That we've done it for the last, actually 5 years.
And how many times have we had to use a single audit?
We have not yet. We did an ARPA, which was not really a single audit.
Examination.
Right.
Okay, all right, thank you, Director.
Thank you. Yeah, and ACFR, there's a lot more to it. When you guys submit for the certificate, there's a lot of additional schedules that go. So it does take quite a bit more time. Okay, so overall, our CRI's values are that we have utmost respect for our clients. We value customer service. We don't want any email to go unanswered for more than 24 hours. Like, customer service is our main thing. Most of our clients are right out of our Melbourne office. They're local, we can drive to them, and I like to be able to see my clients face to face. So switching to CRI, what this means for your city is that you're gonna get a national size firm. We are very large. We have a very large government practice across many different offices. For example, the Gainesville office, our Bradenton office, they have a really big government practice too. Sometimes we support each other, but for the most part, my clients are right around me and their clients are right around them. But if I needed to reach out to them for expertise, they are extremely helpful, and I have before. And they've reached out to me as well. So you're getting a national size firm. However, you're gonna get that local boutique feel of a firm, because I like being face-to-face with clients, because you get a lot more done sometimes. Like, yeah, you can do an audit remotely, but sometimes face-to-face is just way more efficient. You have finance department's attention because you're right there. You're gonna get a new set of eyes, because not only would you be switching audit firms, because we're not your current auditor, but I was not the engagement partner. CRI actually used to do the audit for Daytona Beach Shores from like 2008 to 2020. We were very sad to lose the audit, so we would like to get it back, but I wasn't the engagement partner, so you're still getting a new engagement partner and a new set of eyes. And then timely reporting, I really want to work on getting your report date earlier. So, but overall, like, we want to give you really good client service. We want to be here as much as you want us to be, or not, whatever. So I just really want to emphasize that a quality audit, sometimes the cheapest firm isn't the best, because out of sight, out of mind, they try to do the audit remotely. I'm totally fine with sending staff here as much as we need to, and it can be throughout the year. And I'm also fine with meeting with commissioners one-on-one if they want to have a discussion during the year. So I really want to encourage that. And other than that, yeah.
That would be all-inclusive, no
Yes.
matter, okay, for
Yeah.
that, okay.
And I'm sorry, you said you do not charge for travel?
Right, we do not charge for travel. It's all part.
Well, we thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate it, and have safe travel back.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, well, thank you again. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Any questions?
No.
No. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for the
No,
presentation.
you're only one county away.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
And that's where he worked.
Yes,
so-
I worked in Brevard County for
Oh,
50
yeah.
years, I did, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you so much.
Right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Bye
very
now.
much.
Thank you.
All right, be safe.
Oh, spell secrets.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Hello there.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Is it raining?
Yeah, it's just about stopped.
Okay.
It's not bad. I think Matt Reinhardt got most of it. This whole line here, you know? You guys need copies, or?
That would be great. Oh, I think we got locked out. We don't need her, our director of finance, right?
Thank you.
Pass along.
Thank you.
I'm not a decision maker, but
You
thank
got
you.
the electric one, electronic one?
A lot of familiar looking faces here.
I was gonna give you my key.
All right, you already have my presentation there?
Maddie?
Maddie? Start, you guys gonna do an introduction? How do you guys want to go?
Lori, would you like to do an introduction?
Well, as we said earlier, okay, James Moore, they're actually our current auditors. And we were doing this alphabetically, that there are 3 firms. So James Moore is the second one.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you.
Okay, do you want us to introduce ourselves, or do you know most of us?
I know most of you guys.
Okay, all right, well, let's start, though. This is Mayor-elect Stefan Dubinsky.
How are you?
That's our new mayor, effective in November.
I'm Mark Card.
Nancy Miller,
For now.
for now.
We'll see what happens.
Chris Conomosen, I've met you several times, so.
Good afternoon, Michael Politis.
No, you might, yeah.
2 mics at the end.
Okay.
All right. Well, glad to present our proposal. As Lori mentioned, you know, we've been your auditor for the past 5 years, a number of years ago before that. So I got, you know, a little bit about our audit team. I have 2 of our members here today. Caitlin Walker, she would be your single audit director, and then Nick Merkling would be your audit supervisor. Most of the rest of our staff, actually, we have a lot of presentations we're doing today for other entities, or they would be here as well. So sorry about that. But just so you can see, you know, this is a different audit team than the last time, other than myself. So we decided to internally rotate. We do that at times from an independence purpose and get a fresh look at the audit team. Also, if you guys want to switch out audit partners, we have that availability as well. So, you know, Nick would be new to the job, as well as Noah. Spencer worked on it about probably 4 years ago. We worked on it about 3 or 4 years ago as well. So it would be kind of like that internal fresh look that you would get from a separate firm, a new firm. So a little bit about James Moore, you know, just so you know, each firm's going to talk a little bit about themselves. You know, we're number 112 of the size based on public accounting insight, and you know, we're just in Florida. So we're a Florida-based firm, have 5 offices in Florida, here in Daytona, DeLand, Ocala, Gainesville, and Tallahassee. So we're very proud of that, and so we're about 50 people on our government team. So we do that too. You're going to hear a lot of the same stuff from every firm today. Every firm you're talking to today, I'll tell you, is in the government business. You're not talking to people who do one job, right? So that's why we say, hey, we do that too, right? We're members of the AICPA Government Audit Quality Center, of course, the FICPA, which is the State Association of CPAs, Government Finance Officer Association, as well as the Florida. You know, for Florida, you know, of course, we're active in that as well. I sat on the Technical Resource Committee for that for a number of years. We look at all the new accounting standards that are proposed and Auditor General rules and those things. and then write letters of comment back to those organizing bodies. So it's a great committee to be involved with. Lets me see stuff way before it's coming out and issued. We've also sat on the conference planning committee, webcast committee, so whatever ones they'll let us as an associate member, we're a member of. Peer reviews. So every 3 years, every CPA firm is required to have a peer review where another firm comes in and looks at our system of controls, and we use a sample of our engagements to make sure they're in conformity with auditing standards. So we've had 16 over the life of our firm, and never once had a comment on any of those peer reviews. Not every firm can say that here today. CPE as well, we offer CPA out to our clients, so we have a government webinar series, each summer, typically in the June timeframe. It's no charge to the city for any of their people to do those webinars. You guys do prepare an annual comprehensive financial report. You started that with our first year 5 years ago, and we anticipate you're going to continue doing that. And myself and Zach Shallifer are actually external reviewers for that. We don't review, of course, any clients of ours. Typically, they give us ones out west. But we do that, in our spare time in the summer. I do about 5 or 6 of those where I'm reviewing those in addition, just to get additional knowledge and see how other governments are presenting information. A lot of clients that do act first, and every one of them has always received their certificate. We've never had one that's been rejected for the certificate. But extensive, governmental base here in Florida. We do 16 counties, over 50 municipalities, 50 plus special districts, including some of the larger special districts you would know of that we do. 3 of the water management districts. We do St. John's, we do Southwest Water Management, as well as Northwest. We've done Suwannee actually in the past, which is not a current client right now.
James, how many cities do you do here in Volusia County?
I can do that in one slide.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping, okay, all
Shadowing.
right.
Very good. Technology, every firm will talk about their technology. We all use similar tools. SureLink is a request list system, very common with top 200 CPA firms. We incorporate AI into our audits as well and automation tools. And we do have dedicated IT professionals on the engagement to help us evaluate both your general controls and your software controls you have in place. Mayor, answer to your question.
Okay.
Are you sure you didn't look at this ahead of time?
I did not look at it ahead of
Sharing
time.
or did you have a copy? So these are our current Volusia County clients, just the cities. We have some special districts we do too. Oak Hill and Lake Helen, we provide contract CFO services for. The rest are audit clients, so it's South Daytona, Atlanta, Ormond, DeBerry, Holly Hill, Port Orange, Edgewater. I did pretty good on the logos there. In the past, we've actually, probably over 20 years ago, we audited the city of Daytona Beach. We've also audited New Smyrna Beach in the past. So a number of municipalities here as well in Volusia County and Brevard County as well. So a little bit about our approach, our government team pillars of our government group. The forged cooperative relationship with you guys as our partner. No surprises, anti-gotcha approach. Risk-based auditing. So risk-based auditing, we look at where your risks really are, and that's where we concentrate our focus. So for governments, we look at a lot of times restricted monies that come in. You get certain sales taxes and restricted for your gas taxes can only be spent in certain purposes. You have your impact fees. You guys, get a little bit of that, and not as much as you know for. Those are also restricted. That's one area that we look at and say, well, where's the risk? Is there a risk in this area? That's where we're going to focus our effort to get the best bang for the buck. Team concept, what that means is we work as a governmental group. So we have your team that's assigned to you, that's going to work with you. But if something comes up, and it has in the past, where if you need to change your schedule a little bit, we have that flexibility within that team, because not everyone's always going to be available, say work needs to move out, say 2 or 3 weeks. We have the availability of that entire team. We don't work by office, we work by our industry groups. So we have people who can be available all throughout the firm to be able to assist you with some things. And then, of course, that active communication, both through meetings, both through the SureLink system, which is a request list system, as well as having scheduled calls for you guys during the audit. So our commitment to Daytona Beach Shores, of course, those planning meetings and interim and ongoing status calls. We've always offered in the past, meet with any of the elected officials, the commissioners and the mayor to go over the financial statements. Some people in the past have done that. But if you're interested, I'm always happy to do that. Availability of staff, as I mentioned, you guys are going to have VIP scheduling because you're here. This is where we live in Volusia County. So we want to take care of our cities and counties that are here close to us even better than we do clients outside of where we live and work. We also see you around town. We see you at the League of Cities meeting, whether it's the Volusia League of Cities, Pearson's, the best barbecue.
Right.
Best barbecue, always, always. So that one should be a good one, as well as, they also is a local chapter of the Florida Government Finance Officers Association. We regularly attend those as well. So that's another place, just from the finance side, we see them outside of the audit environment. As I mentioned before, continuity, what I decided to do is switch out that audit staff to kind of give you that fresh look. But as always, I'm open to if you want to rotate audit partners, we can do that as well. So that way, institutional knowledge, will stay with us, and because we have that documented, but you get that fresh look as well. So you get a little bit of both worlds there. Stability of the firm, proven track record with the city over the years, and being here in Volusia County, celebrated our 60th anniversary, 2 years ago. So we're not going anywhere. The last thing, you may not know exactly where I'm going with that, independent and planning to stay that way. There's a huge change in the public accounting world about 2 or 3 years ago. A lot of private equity came in. So private equity is buying CPA firms or buying a portion of a CPA firm. Our firm 3 years ago went through a strategic planning process to determine what do we want to do with that? Do we want to investigate that? Do we want to go that route? And we decided, no, we want to stay independent. There's 18 of us partners, and we like being able to control what we do as owners. We don't want to have to answer to somebody else and become an employee of someone else who, that's going to make decisions. We know what's best for our firm and our people, and what's for the longevity of our firm. So we decided at that time, hey, we're going to take the route, we're going to be independent, and not worry about that. Or also merging up is another thing that I want to firm on the bio, smaller size firms. So accounting can't be, all just serious, so we throw this slide in to show, we do have a little bit of a sense of humor at James Moore. Anyone, I think, probably attend our government webinars, we always leave it with some kind of dad joke. But, here's a little bit of our personality. I'm a scuba diver when I can, so that's kind of like my little personality there. Katie tends to hit the Starbucks often, we got maybe some royalties off that one, Nick, I think that's your.
Is that a prescription mask that you're wearing?
No. I wear my contacts, though, if my mask comes off.
Reminds me of a movie one.
I kept it short and sweet. You said less than 10 minutes. I figured you guys might have some questions.
The only question I have, and it might be more for our finance director, so their rate of schedule, will we get that, be privy to see that ahead of time? I don't see that in here. Did I miss it?
We're talking about the cost?
Yeah, the cost.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
We will forward it to you.
Okay.
Should we look to see if they had?
Before the next meeting, or, okay, all right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned the peer review, you received 0 comments, so I take it comment in that particular sense would be a bad thing?
Correct, yeah.
What is an example of a comment?
So like for a firm, it may be that it's for not following a certain type of audit standard. So you may not have documented something correctly. You may not have implemented a new even accounting standard that your clients were doing from a financial statement disclosure standpoint. They look at that. Could be small things, even if under single audit, which is federal single audit, that's where a lot of the issues take place because you're auditing more than just the compliance side. You got to audit the controls underneath that and making sure you're following those standards and rules.
And an audit, that peer review takes place every 3 years?
Every 3 years. Yeah, we'll be going through our year ends October 31st. And so this October 31st, they'll come in usually around January, February, and they'll do that again.
How is the firm selected to do the peer review?
Each CPA firm you select your own,
Okay.
but it does go through the AICPA peer review as a process, so they have to approve who we select. So based on the size of our firm and the types of clients we do, they look at that, and they look at who's on the peer review team, and they have to have a certain skill set in order to audit us. So, yeah, I can't buy someone who.
No, I know that, yeah, but that's interesting.
Because they've actually rejected, none of ours, but I know I've sat on peer review teams in the past, and I got brought in because that peer review team didn't have someone with my governmental skill set, so they actually asked me to sit on it to audit that peer review team.
Interesting, thank you.
Yeah.
And I know we're looking at a 5-year contract. Is that with most of the cities that you have?
Well, it's from 5, and then with renewals is what we typically see. I think I had 2 1-year renewals, if I remember right. So what's the process for here? I wasn't sure if you guys were deciding tonight, or should we stay for the meeting?
I can answer that.
Okay, Mike.
you all will do your presentations tonight, and then staff will do an analysis also afterwards. We'll meet on
Okay.
that. And then the commission will make a decision at the July 28th meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much
Thank you.
for coming.
Nice to see you again.
Appreciate it.
Any other
I'm sorry you had to
questions?
stand. You should have, yeah. So,
It's been all day working.
sure.
Sitting all day, it's not even 10 minutes.
Thank you. I don't have any questions.
Is narration.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for coming
Thanks very
in.
much, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, take care.
That's good. But less than. Oh, and then all was 62.
We're a whole and a half minutes ahead of schedule.
It's still cheaper. Still
Yeah.
cheaper.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful.
Is it,
How are you doing?
Did you come before the rain or get caught in the rain? or-
We got in here before the rain. Thank you.
Great, good to hear. I will welcome. So I'll let you introduce yourself, our finance director will introduce you.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Lord Irwin, Finance Director. This is our third firm.
I'm waiting on Maddie.
Oh,
Sorry, I put it up.
Malden and Jenkins. And as said earlier, just so you're aware, that what will happen is tonight you'll have the presentation, and then you will make a decision at the next meeting on Tuesday, July 28th at 1 o'clock. So I have time between now and then to look over your bid, your presentations, and staff recommendations.
Okay, thank you. Let us allow ourselves to introduce ourselves. So this is our mayor-elect, so in November, he will be our new mayor.
Hi, I'm Stefan Deminsky. I'm Mark Card.
I am Nancy Miller.
Chris Conamos, nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Michael Politis, good afternoon.
Mike Fowler.
And Mike is our city manager. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming and your interest in our city, and we are ready for you.
Absolutely. I'll just wait one moment for our presentation to come up. I've got handouts if we need to jump back to that too.
No, I'm so sorry.
All right, no problem.
Before you get started, so where, are you a local firm, or where are you out of?
So we have offices, 19 offices throughout the southeast. Your audit would be performed from our Bradenton, Florida office location. So we drove over from Bradenton this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Are you going back tonight, or are you staying?
We are.
Okay.
Back.
Be careful.
We got through Orlando without really many
Wow,
issues,
past
so we're hoping-
Disney?
We're hoping to, we had some slowdowns, but.
Did you take I-4 the whole way, or did you go 429?
We did take I-4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the new expressway is helpful once you get there, you know, on the Disney side.
I think they're working on,
They're working
That
on
good.
it, so there's a lot of construction. Yeah, it's taken me 4.5 hours to get over here before. It's taken 2 hours and 45 minutes to get over here before, so you never know. All right.
that's a tough drive.
And Maddie's getting it ready, I'm sorry.
That's all right. If we need to, I think we have enough handouts for everyone. Okay, there we go.
If you have any handouts, that would be helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
If you'd want to pass those, and we can follow those along as yours comes up. And thank you for having the beautiful picture of our Daytona Beach shore.
Thank you.
I didn't give these ahead of time so that you didn't have anything to just listen to their presentations.
Thank you.
Sir. Oh, thank you, sir. All righty.
Thank you. And we are ready whenever you are.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. certainly appreciate the opportunity to be with you here this evening and propose on your audit services. I know we've only got a few minutes with you here this evening, so we will try and be brief and answer any questions that you have at the end. I'm going to skip a couple slides on the introductions and just provide an overview of the overall engagement team. So our proposed engagement team includes Wade Sansbury as the overall engagement partner. Unfortunately, he had a vacation plan this week and was not able to attend. I'm also a partner with Malden & Jenkins in our governmental practice out of our Bradenton office. I'm the proposed engagement fieldwork partner. So I would be assisting Wade and Garrett in supervising the staff, developing the overall audit approach, and the main point of contact for the city throughout the audit process. Garrett, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Good evening. Thank you all for having us. I'm Garrett Marlowe. I'm a senior manager with Malden & Jenkins. I've got over 9 years of experience, and I'll be the manager kind of running the day-to-day audit requests kind of throughout the audit cycle. And I'm also from Cocoa Beach and went to UCF, so figured I-4.
Nice.
We're going.
So yeah, this is just really a dashboard of our engagement team. You can see, we've got multiple partners that would be assigned to the engagement. Garrett running things as the manager, and then our engagement staff. So everyone across the top and along the left, all of us have, spend 100% of our time performing governmental audits. That's all we do. Don't ask me any tax questions, please. Property tax maybe, but not personal.
That's a sore
blow. I know. We were just talking about that outside. So, we've made the governmental sector a primary focus of our firm, saying if you want to specialize in that, you're going to go 100% all in. So we're absolutely experts as far as the industry goes. Malden & Jenkins as a firm, we are a large regional audit organization with 19 offices throughout the Southeast. As I mentioned, your audit would be entirely performed from our Bradenton, Florida office location. I mentioned our governmental niche. It is the firm's single biggest niche that we have, serving over 750 governmental entities throughout that footprint. We're led by 31 partners and directors like Wade and myself, who kind of steer all of those audits that are being performed. We've got over 190 team members within the firm who have current governmental experience. I would say about 120 of those are 100% governmental. That's all that those individuals do. We are a top 100 firm in the United States. I think we're probably somewhere in the mid-50s or so currently. Something that hasn't really been of applicability to you guys lately is single audits. I noticed over the last 5 years you guys have not had to have a single audit be performed, but should you need a single audit due to your expenditures of federal awards or state awards, over 350 of our clients undergo single audits on an annual basis. We've got a tremendous amount of experience in performing those type of procedures as part of the audit process as well. I did note that you guys have recently received your certificate for the GFOA Certificate of Excellence. Congratulations to that. I know it's been a few years, but certainly a lot of work goes into that, we know, and that's a big feat for you. So we've got over 180 of our clients who also seek and receive that certificate on an annual basis. So a lot of experience working with that actual program as well. Some notable municipalities that we serve, the left column there is really similar entities to you guys within the state of Florida. So the city of Palm Coast, the city of Cocoa Beach, we kind of have you surrounded on the north and south ends. Distance is not a factor. I know that we're the furthest firm of the three firms that are being proposed. That doesn't matter to us. It's the nature of what we do to be traveling to client sites if you want us here. Our audit approach, and Garrett will talk a little bit about it here in a moment as well. Since COVID, a lot more hybrid audits or remote audits are being conducted. We do a lot of audits throughout the year. We're very comfortable with the process, whether you want us on site 100% of the time, remote 100% of the time, or somewhere in between. Because we have so many, it's easier for us to be flexible to your guys' preferences as we go through our audit process. The right-hand side is really just some notable governments throughout the southeastern United States. We audit governments as large as the city of Atlanta, Georgia, and some other very significant entities throughout the southeast, such as the city of Savannah, the city of Charleston, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So again, a lot of experience ranging from large governments to small governments. I like to say that there are no two governments that are exactly alike, but with the breadth of experience that we have, we can pull from other governments that probably have similar operations to the various things that you have. So certainly the resources and capacity to serve as your auditors. I have mentioned the single audits, so we do have a tremendous amount of experience there. I also noticed in reviewing your ACFR that you guys don't have any bonds or debt outstanding. Congratulations for that. Should you decide to go to the bond market, we do have experience helping clients with comfort letters and various procedures that may assist you within that process, if that's something you choose to do throughout our tenure serving as your auditors. I'll turn it over to
One of the ways we're able to serve these clients is we really stress the transition process. We know a new auditor is never fun for the finance staff, so we try to front load all of our planning. We want to meet with them in the fall, get ahead of everything, as well as go through. We don't just give you a blanket list to match what we need. We try to meet with the city staff and tailor our requests to what they can provide in their systems. And we do know the city uses Munis, which we have tremendous experience with, and we'd also be able to set up remote access so that even though we're not out here, we're able to kind of work in the system and maybe pull some preliminary samples from our end to alleviate some time that they would normally be spending pulling those samples ahead of time, even before field work. And one of the other ways we would try to tailor that is it also allows them to see our actions. So SureLink allows you, if we download any items, they're like, okay, I saw Garrett downloaded this file at 4 o'clock. Or I saw they got it right when we sent it, and so we can kind of work back and forth and see, okay, these items are filled, this is what we need. So it's a really good way to track kind of the progress of the audit throughout the process. And leading into it, we do have experiences with many types of governments, as well as our transitions, large and small, as well as GFOA certificates. We've yet to have a client fail on the certificate process. And then, as Daniel mentioned, we do have experience with the bond market as well. And then also leading into staff retention and that audit transition is we will send we have a 85% retention rate, which is above industry average. So it'll be the same staff over the first few years of the audit. So you're not having to churn and burn new staff coming in, asking the same question over and over and over again to your staff, burning their time. We know nobody appreciates that. As well as it would be kind of a consistency from all levels, as well as the review side from Daniel for the engagement fieldwork partner. And then we do, also we are one of the top 100 firm, 50, yep. And so we are annually recognized as top 100 firm as well, and we do have the breadth of knowledge. We do know there are a few new GASBs coming through, so there's nothing really major for 103 or 104 that the city would have that would kind of impact that transition as well.
You talked a little bit about travel. Is that included in your price if you have to travel? Okay.
100% So Garrett talked about transitions. The biggest key that we've learned, we've got over 700 transitions over the last 25 years. That gives us a lot of experience with that process. And open door communication is really what's key to that, making sure that we're on the same page as far as the expectations go, and we're responsive to any questions that you guys have really before the audit process starts. We're typically only performing audit procedures during a certain point of the year, but if we're not available to you throughout the year, helping you with transactions as you're undergoing those, then we're really not serving as a true audit firm and being that support. Ultimately, that helps with the efficiency on the audit side as well. So we're responsive. We're also proactive within our communication to you because, again, we know it kind of goes from audit to budget. There's kind of that cycle that you're dealing with. We just want to be reaching out to you and just saying, hey, how are things going? Do you have any questions? And we've learned that a lot of times whenever we're proactive with that communication, it's something that you might not have reached out to us for, but hey, since he did contact us, let's go ahead and have that conversation as well. I've talked a lot about our experience serving only, governmental entities, the primary engagement team that we have. It helps to give back to the governmental industry as part of that process goes as well. So we've got a past AICPA chair who is a firm partner within Malden & Jenkins. We're a member of the Government Audit Quality Institute, including an executive committee member. And this really just helps audit firms perform better audits within that process. Likewise, we're a member of the AICPA Single Audit Quality Improvement Task Force, which helps audit firms throughout the country perform single audits. So we've got that experience, and we work within these organizations to really help other firms perform effective and efficient audits and single audits as well. I think one of the things that we're most proud of is the current chair of the Governmental Accounting Standards Board was selected. He was previously a partner within our firm, and they selected him to kind of lead their organization. He's about 2/3 of the way through his 7-year term. That's beneficial to us because I've got him on my cell phone. If I've ever got a question about a pronouncement, I can go right to the tippy top and say, hey, Joel, let's talk about this. What's GASB thinking? And that just helps us provide that knowledge on to our clients that we have as well. I know we're running short on time. We also like to give back to our clients through free continuing education. We do this through about 4 webinars a year on a quarterly basis where there's about 8 hours of free continuing education on upcoming GASB pronouncements, internal control best practices in single audits, information technology, advisory services, and best practices within that space as well. So we do provide that to you as part of our client as well. It doesn't just extend to the finance department, but anyone within the city that would like to participate gets to do that for free. So we tried to keep it short and sweet for you. Again, we really appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys this evening, and we're happy to answer any questions that you guys have at this
Well,
time.
thank you so much for making that long trip up. Any questions from any of our commission?
No?
Excellent, thank you. Okay, and thank you for the presentation. It helps that we can go back and review it. So I don't know if Lori has told you or not, so we will be making our decision at 1 PM on July 28th, which is a Tuesday at one of our meetings. Okay?
Thank you very much. Have a good
Gentlemen.
You guys be safe driving
safe
home.
travels.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Excellent presentation, thank you.
What was the meeting?
Oh, that would be nice.
Adjourn?
Workshop is closed.